Many tournament goers spend hundreds of dollars on the finest controllers with custom PCBs, thumbsticks, and switches so they could shoot their opponents in the head faster. With so much money into ending their ops, you'd think they just buy a fucking gun at some point. Breaking into the professional scene is expensive, but it may have just gotten a whole lot cheaper. This is the GameSir G7 Pro, but it's been given a sick-ass Aimlabs paint job, an 8000 Hz polling rate, new TMR thumbsticks, an improved D-pad with new switches for it and the triggers. It has a selection of extra sticks, and to top it off, it has all of the features previously implemented on other G7 Pro controllers. Optical switches for ABXY, 4 additional buttons, adjustable clicky triggers, gyro, and tons of software settings. The price has increased $10, but if my testing is correct, we're looking at the fastest controller under $100, and by extension, the cheapest controller for aspiring pro players. We're going deep with response time and thumbstick testing today. I'll be taking a closer look at the G7's gyro and talking about if speed matters at all or if 8K is just a marketing gimmick. So like if you like it and sub if you love it, let's do it.
What the fuck is this?
While Marius Hire makes some extremely fast controllers, they're a bit hard to get your hands on. The G7 Pro 8K provides an accessible entry point into the 8K market, and it has insane performance. The 8K polling rate, despite what a lot of people have said online, is available both wired and with the 2.4 GHz wireless, although Bluetooth is limited to around 700-ish hertz. Wired is clearly where you want to be since response times there drop below 1 millisecond, but 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth actually perform pretty well. I did 1000 Hz test wired and for the 2.4 GHz wireless to compare, and as you can see, the percentage increase is pretty wicked. Also, the raw mode bumps the response time up for the sticks a tiny bit, so be sure to stay in circular mode if you want the best response time. Although according to my testing, this is like the only controller that's ever had 0% jitter, and the raw mode provides that, so there might be a use case for it if you're looking to get rid of your jitter. So in short, the G7 Pro 8K for 90 bucks is one of the fastest goddamn controllers in the world. The feel of the controller is admittedly very similar to the original G7, but I gotta say, I've been smacking the dog shit out of people with this thing.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
And I've seen some other people do some rather impressive things with it, so maybe there is something to this whole 8K jargon. We'll talk more about that later. The response time is fantastic, but I couldn't have put on such a performance without these new and improved thumbsticks. The caps come in cyan, the cool color, and black. My extra sticks came in black, but apparently yours might come in cyan. Just make them all the fucking cool color, you pricks. Underneath the glitz and glamour of these caps, the TMR sticks themselves have been updated. These are, I believe, the JS13 Pro TMR sticks. These are full size instead of the JS16 mini stick design we've seen so commonly with Hall Effect and TMR sticks. What the hell's up with these names, by the way? Why do I feel like I'm in a Porsche dealership? The mini stick design was used previously on other G7 Pro models, and compared to those mini sticks, the JS13s are literally indescribable. The max resolution of 12-bit sticks is 4096, and these almost crush that. But wait the shit on. Wait, hold on. There's a fuckload of tremor, so this resolution likely isn't natural. There's either way too much sensor noise or some type of background algorithm. But I've never seen anything like this. The highest resolution I've seen so far is like 2000. Someone should definitely do something. And they may actually have tried to do that. For about 12 seconds, they added RC filters to this bitch, but there must have been tournament controversy or something because they almost immediately removed it. Thanks to my patron 424 for letting me know about this. In the immediate aftermath, GameSir released tournament-specific firmware, which you can download via the link in the description. This little fiasco is further proof that GameSir does intend for this to end up in the hands of tournament players. Now, I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I am going to screw with the gyro, because this is an Aimlabs controller, so you know I had to. The G7 Pro 8K is spectacular when the gyro is set to mouse aim, but the thumbstick aim is complete horseshit. It's just stiff and a little jittery, and it's not fun. I set up mouse aim, and because I could, I set up a bunch of keyboard inputs so I could navigate my PC and Aimlabs seamlessly, and this thing is a fucking dream. The only real issue with the gyro is if you're really gyro heavy with your gameplay, you're gonna have to reset your center point here and there because it likes to drift off in one direction or the other. For me, it's right. Overall, I'd say the G7 Pro 8K does not have gyro on par with like the Vader 5 Pro or Sony's controllers, but it's more than good enough. And in the box comes 1 free month of Aimlabs Plus, which I haven't used, by the way. That one's for you. Let me know if you got it in the comments. The gyro can be adjusted in the software to do just about anything, and because this is a PC controller, you get cheating-ass macros and turbos, as well as shift layers, mouse and keyboard inputs, basically everything GameSir has to offer. You get adjustable thumbstick bit rates and dead zones, raw mode and circle mode. Again, the raw mode makes the sticks a bit slower but removes jitter. There are trigger dead zones and vibration settings, which I'm positive no one's going to use. Why did you even include rumble motors in the first place? I love GameSir software. Each iteration has worked seamlessly for me without any bugs. I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I did not give the G7 enough credit in my initial review. It's pretty feature packed, and compared to something like the Wolverine V3 Pro 8K, the G7 Pro 8K is smaller, it's cheaper, it's less likely to have issues, and I only make such a comparison because the Wolverine is the most requested 8K controller on the channel, and I don't really see why. This is far more interesting, and it's way cheaper than the wireless Wolverine model if wireless matters to you. The PXNP5 8K, great on paper, but it feels insanely cheap in hand. And the EasySMX Dune and Tarantula Pro 8K are yet to release. When both of those controllers release, I'll have a video comparing all of the currently available 8K controllers. But for now, the debate will have to wait. But you should definitely get this one. This shit bangs. Now, I asked this question in my video on the world's actual fastest controller. Does speed matter? Well, I imagine for most people who end up owning this controller, speed won't really matter that much. Most of us aren't good enough for a 2 to 3 or even a 5 millisecond difference to make a huge difference for our gameplay. Most dudes using a normal G7 will be just as good on the 8K model. Any difference for the average person is going to be mostly placebo. You just stop being a pussy because a company told you your hardware was good. Hold on before you drop your shitty comment. Give me a fucking second. For you competitive players who are trying to get into tournaments and you aren't making $1 million yet, this thing is a must-have. The fastest budget pro controller? That's a necessity. At $90, it's like 4 times more accessible than custom options, so who knows? We may see some aspiring pro players get some real use out of this. We may even see new pro players on the scene because of hardware that's this good. But, and this is worded weirdly, so forgive me if this goes straight over your head. If the people who are good enough for these features to matter were the only people buying these controllers, GameSir would not have a business. That said, the G7 Pro 8K resonates with me on a spiritual level. I am what's known in my area as a broke nigga. And this is the ultimate tool for aspiring pro players who do not have the money to spend $300 on a super controller. I find it admirable when companies make premium features available to us peasants. This is one of the very rare instances in the controller world where you can buy something, where really good players can buy something that definitively improves gameplay. And you could do it without breaking the bank. The original G7 was a letdown to me, but the Zenless Zone Zero and 8K models are nearly perfect controllers. Perfectly executed and marketed, and reliability, while a bit shaky with the triggers, is much better overall than any other controller with anywhere close to this feature set. GameSir is on a generational run right now. We haven't even hit $150 and we've already gotten all of this shit. FlottyG is putting up some decent performance too, but I think the Vader 5 Pro fits the average player who plays shooters. Whereas the G7 Pro 8K is for the extreme hardcore motherfucker, you feel me? Someone where milliseconds count, and if you're that motherfucker, there's a link in the description. Real quick, I would like to say a word on the original G7 Pro since I shit on that, but I love this. What gives? It comes down to marketing. This is advertised as a PC controller, and it is a PC controller. There is no secondary platform, like Xbox, getting completely screwed over by having a bunch of features locked to PC, even though it says it's an Xbox controller. At the end of the day, this is the same controller spec'd slightly better and available only for PC. And to me, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is having a wired Xbox controller with wireless and gyro for PC. It's a fucking PC controller then, innit? Marketing matters, guys. Don't get sucked up. Well, definitely get sucked up, if you know what I mean. But don't fall down the drain of marketing. That shit isn't real. And if you have further questions, I'll be streaming May 9th, which should be tomorrow if this video goes up on time. That will be at 3 p.m. EST, and my Steam controller is arriving in So I will have the Steam controller on that stream if you're curious about that, answering questions. By then I should have some testing and usage and teardowns and a couple of other things. Let me know what you want to see next, or if you want to see the G7 Pro 8K compared to something. That will happen next month, because the rest of this month's taken up by the Steam controller, okay? Okay. I absolutely love you guys, and I hope to see you in the Steam controller review very, very soon. Peace.